Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Netters and I can't say my own name. Netters Network Thursday Things. It has been a day, I'm telling you. As you've probably noticed, my special guest was unable to make it tonight. There was a scheduling conflict. I'm trying to get her for next week. But tonight, hey, we're just going to talk. We're going to talk to you. We're going to talk about you. Whatever you want. So yeah, it's just kind of go with the flow stream. So whatever y'all want to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about. Before we get started, let me introduce to you that guy at the end of the bar, the love of my life, Trevor Jelly. How you doing tonight, sweetie? And what are you sipping on?
I'm doing well. And I swiped a Diet Dr. Pepper from you.
Oh, that's fine. I am drinking my Netter's Nectar without the booze, so it's just cranberry grape juice. And let's, of course, say hello to the chat. Now, yesterday, PJ was already in here saying hello.
Yeah.
But first up tonight is Deleted Scenes giving his salute. Then we have Big Al saying, have a great stream. And good luck tomorrow for me for my exam, so thank you. Let's see, we have Connie Cleary saying hello to the chat. Lady Myst in here, pretty flowers and hearts for me. Thank you, sweetie. Scrolling. Curtis Selby saying hello to everyone. Adega Allah, so wonderful to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
And we got that last call guy. Yeah, this guy keeps hitting on me. You should know I'm married.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, my earpiece just popped. That was weird. Vagrancy Horror, how you doing tonight, sweetie? JPRPH1, welcome. And I think that gets me to the bottom. So, how y'all doing? What do you want to talk about tonight? Now, I had mentioned that I've got this exam coming up with my company, and they keep saying you don't have to pass it. We just want you to have the experience. But I really want to pass it, even if I just pass it. Because you have to get 80% to pass. So even if I just get 80%, I'm going to be happy with that. Because it's like, I still want to do my best, even though, I was really struggling with the material. You still want to do your best, What's interesting is that my boss told me during our one-on-one today that for all the people that are underneath our big boss, the pass rate is 50%. She goes, and that's surprising. I forgot to ask her if she meant that was surprising good or surprising bad. So, yeah. And then, of course, we had some people that just didn't listen to direction. So in our class, when the class was over, the instructor said, okay, do not take the test right away. Take some time, go back over the material, really get into it, and then take the exam when you feel confident. One guy got really cocky and just said, oh, I'm going to take it over, the weekend because when we took the class, that Monday was a holiday. He goes, Monday's a holiday, so I'm going to take it then. And she's like, did you not listen to me? And we're all sitting there going, this guy's going to fail because he's being cocky. No, he actually passed.
Jerk.
But still, you never want to be cocky when you're doing things. It's like, if the instructor tells you, take your time, go over the material, do that.
And speaking of a reality check, Deleted Scenes comes in. Tired AF, 2.5 hours of sleep.
Oh.
I still have a show to do. So there's proof, everybody, that Deleted Scenes does sleep.
No, that's a nap.
Well,
he naps.
Maybe for him that's 2.5 hours is all the sleep he gets, but apparently it's not enough. And dude, totally understand where you're coming from.
Yep.
But
been there.
Yep, I caught the tail end of his surprise live stream, his surprise unplugged today, and there was a lot to rant about today.
And if I recall, Happy birthday, Deleted Scenes, because isn't today the day?
Happy birthday, my friend. Yes, we celebrated a little bit on Sunday, but yeah, today's the actual day. And
Adega says you sound tired, Troy. He shouldn't. He had a nap.
well, yeah, maybe I just haven't woken up yet myself. But yeah, so there's a little. I don't know if you'd consider it a birthday gift or not, Deleted Scenes, but we got James O'Keefe over at the O'Keefe Media Group taking off the gloves and taking a swing at Disney. You better believe that we'll be talking about that on Geeky Geezers. I'm sure Deleted Scenes is going to have more to say about that over the weekend, as are a lot of other channels. Look, nothing we didn't already know, right? You know, but still, it's kind of good when somebody trusted in the actual media, you know, comes out and just confirms what we know. Yeah, Deleted Scenes is 19 in dog years. That's true. That's very, very true. I posted something. It's been going around the social medias. Look into it. I guess a Reddit thread or some social media thread. They were talking about. There was a comparison between how human legends about the Fae and fairies and whatnot compares to the relationship between dogs and people. And there's all these correlations, like you know, the Fae, or like these you know what? I'll post it. I'll post it again on my social media, and I'll drop it into the MeWe group for Last Call. It's definitely worth taking a look at. The Clue Channel. Welcome. Good to see you. And Matt Cheatwood. Woo-hoo. There you go. And Christoph says we're going to war. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't caught up in the news today, but for crying out loud, I don't know if you mean that literally, but yeah, I think the powers that be are hell bent to get us into another war, if that's what you mean. But I think on a more hyperbolic level, we're definitely in a culture war. There's no doubt about that. It's kind of what all of our channels are kind of predicated on. So yeah, be ever vigilant. You know.
Yeah. Okay, my guest has confirmed, the one I was supposed to have tonight, has confirmed that she will be on next Thursday. So.
Did you check with your guest for next week?
Yes, he's agreed to switch. So.
Okay, good.
I just need to change his date, put her in his spot, and yeah.
And, you know, I wanted to share too. I've got, well, okay. So I definitely empathize with Netter. It's happened to her. It's happened to me. Look. These things happen, right? We have a lot of people that we are trying to collab with. I think that's the modern term, collab. And scheduling just doesn't always work between different streams and so many. Not to mention miscommunications because of time zones, and then just real life. You know, I mean. Things come up, kids get sick, whatever it is, you know, we just got to deal with it. So my guest for tomorrow night won't be able to make it either. I need to go ahead with that stream though, because I'm specifically going to be talking about something that's very important, and it's time sensitive only in that June is Men's Mental Health Month, and I want to have this conversation while it's still June. But we will adapt. We'll overcome. You know, just like the Marines. But I did want to drop a little teaser, as long as Netter's giving me the floor and is allowing me to talk.
That's only because I'm responding back to Alana and letting her know it's okay.
Sure.
Switching around.
I have another guest that I have hinted at in the past, and let's be honest. I don't want to gaslight anybody. Okay, it's nobody so it's not like you can guess or anything like that. It's nobody probably famous to you, but I think he will be interesting to you, especially those of you out there that are authors or aspiring authors. I've had some people on my channel, and Netter has too, that are releasing their first book or their next book, and they want to do
or their next movie,
an announcement, or whatever. And in fact, Netter doesn't even know about this guest. But it's somebody that she definitely knows. We have done promotions for him in the past. She even has a video linked in her channel about a promotion that we did for his previous book.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. His third book in the what's it called? The Keeper of the Sin series is going to be coming out. A new vampire book. Or at least he's starting to work and promote it. So,
has he finished writing it?
I don't think so. He was a little cryptic in exactly where he was, but I did tell him, over a year ago, hey, if you decide you want to keep going with this, let's just let me know. I'll get you on the show. We'll get together and talk about it. We'll do a launch party. I'll do a promotional video for you, just whatever. So yeah, I got that coming up in the next. Well, he said sooner than later. To me, that means maybe in July we'll be talking about this.
So that means, people, if you want to see what we're talking about, because I figured out who he's talking about when he said I have a promotion linked.
Yeah.
On my channel, under special appearances, Keeper of the Sins.
Let me see if I can find it while you're talking.
Let me see which one it is. I want to say it's one of the first couple ones I got up.
Yeah, and Netter would get canceled for this today because she plays cross genders.
Yeah.
And
so, if you look at my guest appearances, it's the one on the far right. You see a guy standing there with a black leather jacket and a black shirt. That's it. Keeper of the Sins, the left hand of God. Do you want me
there
to?
It is. I got it.
Oh, you want to play it? It's not like we're going to get copyright stricken.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring that up. Give me a second here. Let me blow that up. Let me then share it. Present.
See how many times you can spot the Netter.
Yeah. I'm only in it in a single scene.
I'm in. Let's see. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
Just let it play, and we'll see. You can count it as it goes.
Okay. Add to stage.
Okay. Here we go.
You got sound?
Yep. Are you not hearing it?
No, I'm not hearing anything.
Hold on. That's not good. Let me reshare it. Stop sharing. Present. Screen. Maybe I didn't give you sound.
Important.
Yeah, when you change.
Oh, Matthew Flynn, how you doing, sweetie?
Hey, a long time no see. Hey, sorry about your cat, man. I know that's rough.
Oh, yeah, I've been through that with my own. It's like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, wait, hold on. It just lost me somehow. Where'd it go? Here it go. There it is. that count as a half?
Because, Marcus, if you enjoy taking the life of another person, regardless of the reason, you would be murdering another mortal. You would be taking a life that God gave and laid it to waste. And that is the worst sin in God's eyes.
And you, an immortal, your sanity will be a delicacy.
Hey there, Father Cooper. How they hanging?
Holy hell!
What do you see down there? They're tied up with rope. Yeah, not rope. Some kind of webbing or tendons. All right, first one's coming out.
No! Find some other way out from down there.
It's a hole, Marcus. You don't make an opening to the street from a hole.
This was a mistake. You are an embarrassment to the church and an abomination to God!
So you've got the advantage, right? You can beat this thing, right?
The way it stands now. I don't have a chance.
And there you have
There you
it.
go. Yeah.
And yes, the priest was Troy. Let's see. I was the person at the very beginning at the safe. I was the gentleman standing to the right side of the fellow that was sitting at the desk.
The priest, but
yeah.
to the left of the audience, yes. Obviously the nun.
Oh, yeah, obviously the nun. And it was my hand who grabbed the cross out of Marcus's mouth and yanked it free.
Oh, didn't realize that. That was one
Yeah, I was
missed.
afraid of hurting him. I kept going, how hard should I pull? I don't want to pull too hard. He goes, just pull. He goes, it's fine. I'll let go.
Yeah. Welcome, Enigma Severus. Welcome. Good to see you.
Chris Sabry says, that's fantastic. Y'all need a janitor or a key grip.
Well, that was really just meant to be a promotional video for the first book.
yeah.
It's not like we were going to do a full-on fan film or anything like
Although
that.
I would love to.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. But I'll tell you what, just getting those scenes, it was a commando filming. It really was. There were some scenes as I watch it back, and I think, wow, that actually turned out pretty good. And then I think about how we're off, like 2 or 3 of us are just off camera holding like shop lights and stuff like that. It's just, ridiculous.
Yeah, like the one where Marcus was being smacked in the face and he fell down into the grass. I was just off camera holding up like either it was a light or a microphone or something.
Yeah, exactly. And, but you know what? Since that time, I found out so much about behind the scenes of even big budget films, and I realized that is, I guess, kind of the way, filming goes for a lot of things. So,
Hi, PJ.
yeah, your friends will think you're cool if you make a fan film. Yeah, exactly.
I actually wouldn't mind doing a fan film.
Actually, I think at this point he's got to get his 3rd book out and then start thinking about, like, actually getting a bunch of younger actors casting it and making the movie,
But I'm still old enough to be a nun.
Well, yes, I'm sure that our roles probably are not age dependent, but the vampire kind of is.
Deleted Scene says, I just hit 2,200 subs. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Welcome. PJ, welcome. Good to see you. I think he said he was going to be AFK, but good to see you, my friend.
Yes, I know I saw other peeps too, and my thingy keeps jumping. Geek Flag with Nate, how you doing, sweetie?
And yeah, I mean, we'll obviously be talking more about Keeper of the Sins and that whole series when we get the author on my channel in the fairly near future. Just thought I'd kind of share that with you guys.
And I'm not sure if I said hello to JPRPH1. How you doing, sweetie?
He was one of the first ones here, so I'm pretty sure you probably said hi.
Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies.
Yes. Good
Just
stuff.
want to make sure I don't miss nobody. I think I got everybody else. If I did miss you, please let me know, because I never want to miss saying hi to my sweeties.
Yeah. And, I just realized I can move this.
Actually, don't have to worry about changing the stream for, I guess, for next week, because I didn't have it up yet.
Yeah. That's not my fault, though, is it?
No, I have his thumbnail.
Okay.
It's a couple of people's that I need, though.
I was looking into the film rights for Roger Zelensky's Chronicles of Amber series and found out Stephen Colbert is involved in a project that currently owns the rights.
Wow.
That's disconcerting.
It's weird.
I mean, yeah. But yeah.
Cool.
So what else we got going on that we should be talking about?
Let's see. For those of you who like those really old retro games, I mean, the ones where they're still like on discs. Well, I think I still got a couple that are on 3 3/4 discs, and I know I've got a bunch that are on this like CD-ROM things. I'm actually going to be putting those up for sale on eBay. If there is one, like a particular type that you are interested in, drop me a note, let's see if I have it, and I'll put it aside for you. But like, I've got all the old ones. I've got Leisure Suit Larry, for instance. So those of you who have played Leisure Suit Larry, I think we got through most of the first one, and then we got stuck somewhere and we couldn't find whatever the doodah was to continue forward, so we couldn't continue on that one. Like Baldur's Gate. Icewind Dale, I never even opened that one up. I never got to that one. But like all those type of older retro games, so it's like, if you know anything about them, you want to talk about them, let's talk about them. I know Baldur's Gate was so much fun. You just do Dritz, and you get all these fantastic fighters up, and I would just fill up the screen with them, and they would just annihilate anything that came towards me.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. Kurosabi says, I love Leisure Suit Larry. Yes, I want to say I got volumes 1 and 2. I might have volume 3 too. But yeah, they're just kind of funny. And then I'm trying to think of some of the other titles I've had for the kids. I've got like some VeggieTale ones, and some other kids ones. I'm trying to think. I know I have a list here somewhere. I wanted to just say some of the more popular ones, but where'd my list go? Oh, that's not my list. Don't you hate when you make a list and then you can't find it? And it's like, I got my computer, it just, I don't know where this came from, but I got something called WPS Office, and I hate it. It's kind of like Microsoft Office wannabe, and I can never find anything when I want it. So that makes me crazy. Okay, I found my shopping list. I was looking for that. I know I got it here somewhere, but yeah, it's like if you're into retro games, you want to talk about them, let's talk about them. Some of them were a lot of fun to play. Oh, I know where it might be. I may have saved it in... Yes, here's my list. Oh, hey, what do you mean, open? What do you mean you can't open? Oh. Let's change your title so I can open you. I don't know why it's saved with the extension twice, but okay. What do you mean you don't want to open? Open. Okay, it doesn't like the extension. Oh, maybe it'll let me open it this way. Aha! Okay. So, like, I've got some of the Harry Potter ones. So, like, Chamber Seekers, Philosopher's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban, Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights. Actually, I got 2 Icewind Dales. One's called Heart of Winter, the other one's called Black Isle. Leisure Suit Larry has got it's his greatest hits, so it's 6 games on there. Mystery of the Mummy. Got some Star Wars ones. Baldur's Gate. So I got Tales of the Sword Coast, Crusaders of the Dark... Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's a wizard game. But I got Baldur's Gate. I don't have a title for that one. But then the second one is Tales from the Sword Coast. I don't think I played that one. Yeah, I got a bunch of these. King's Quest. I've got King's Quest, I think, 1 through 7. It might be 1 through 8.
So Matt Cheatwood says, my wife still plays Neverwinter Nights online.
Oh.
Runs her own server. Now, something tells me, though, that is not the same Neverwinter Nights that I think Netter's talking about, that came on like a CD-ROM and she played. It wasn't interactive. It was, just on our PC.
Right, so like you were the main character and you couldn't even see your own body, and you would just like run around and kill things and get things and what have you. Adiga says, I loved Icewind Dale. And Matt Chiwa says, I still own the disc for Baldur's Gate 1, 2, Icewind Dale, and Diablo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Morrowind.
Now, Neverwinter Nights, I see the enhanced edition. I see is on Steam.
Huh?
Just trying to think if...
Yeah, I've only played a couple of games on Steam. The Star Trek Online, isn't Star Trek Online on Steam, sweetie? The one that you play?
It is, but I don't usually play it off of Steam. I just have it connected to Steam. It's an ARC game.
Yeah, and then there's a couple other ones that we have. One that Age Boomer got for Troy.
ARC also has Neverwinter Adventures in Wild Space.
What was the goat game?
Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator. That is so funny to play. So yeah, that one's on. As I'm drawing a blank on the name again. That place.
So I want to ask this, as long as we're on the topic of Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know how many of you all actually play, the physical, tabletop version of D&D. But there has been a slightly viral post that went up, I want to say on Reddit, or maybe it was Twitter, I don't know which, where this DM was kind of going off on a rant. He put out like a 41-point manifesto as a DM, what the rules were at his table, and if you don't like it, you can, pound sand. And I saw that Dungeon Craft on YouTube had commented on it. So this was the point that the I'm curious what you guys think about this. Point 5 in this guy's manifesto was, if you don't act out whatever your charisma interaction is, you fail before you even roll. In other words, he was saying, if you're doing a charisma check, you got to act it out. You don't get to just say, I want to do this and roll. So my response to that was, well, do I have to kick open your front door before I make my strength roll too? Maybe steal something from your house before I make my sleight of hand roll. Maybe you should beat me to the point of unconsciousness and see if I survive before I make a stabilization roll. You know? The dungeon master, Dungeon Craft, came back and said, not untrue, but then why speak in character at all? Why not just roll dice to resolve social interactions? So my response was, well, you could say the same for bards. Your bard has a high perform skill, but you, the real person, sound like a cat being stuffed into a lunchbox. I said, here's an alternate thing we often do, especially when role-playing romantic interactions. Instead of acting it out first person, we narrate it in third person. So I might have a situation like, and my character says to her, well, something sweet, but not corny. But the focus is more on encouraging her than it is making time with her. Then the DM says, okay, roll to see if your intent is well received. So anyway, that was my interaction on this particular spicy topic that's been going around the D&D chat boards recently. Just wondering what you guys all thought about that. As long as we were on the topic of D&D, that is.
Well, yeah, because it's like I have to roll to see if I could do the thing before I can do the thing.
Matt Cheatwood agrees too. Yeah. The other thing that I did, there was I started to dramatize this on my channel, and it's so labor intensive with the editing. I haven't done it in a very long time, but I've been trying to do a video series based on the Savage Tide adventure path that my group did. We went through the entire adventure path. It was years we spent on it. And we would role play out whatever we were role playing out, and then one or more of us would create I guess you'd call it a blog entry or whatever, where we dramatize it as if we were writing a book, writing a story. And some of them, we just were kind of rushed and summarized. Some of them we went into excruciating detail. I mean, it was some of those were very interesting to read, but we'd get the gist of the interactions with the NPCs, but then we'd flesh them out more in the blogs in between episodes. And that was especially true because a romance with one of the NPCs was a major plot point. And two or more of the player characters were trying to romance this NPC, and we're all a bunch of dudes. We really did not want to be, acting out in first person these romance scenes. So it was a lot easier to just describe them the way I said, and it's like, well, I say this to her and I say that to her, and let's just And so,
my darling, I want to
yeah. So I would describe it, and he'd go, okay, make the roll. Okay, that's a really good roll. So sometimes what I'd even do is keep track of how much, how successful that roll was, and then I would, write the story, in between, kind of to match it. And actually, some of it came out pretty. Let's put it this way. I don't mean to pat myself on the back too much, but I think I write dialogue and romance way better than George Lucas does. Look, I know that's not a very high bar, but
Well, you've been married for 31, almost 32 years. I hope so.
Actually, a lot of people would say that would be an excuse to be bad at romance, but okay. Greetings, Sashi. Welcome.
Hey, Sasha.
How are things in the future? Give us some hope for the future.
Yeah, it's
Aren't
like,
you supposed to be getting ready for work, Sashi? That's what Matt Cheatwood said.
going down some of these other games, it's like I haven't played all of these, like Gods and Generals. I've never played it. I've been
Gods
told
and
it's a good
Generals,
one.
is that like a Civil War?
I think so,
type of game.
Heroes of Might and Magic 2.
Sashi says, "I'm at work now." Yeah, no. Matthew Flynn says he doesn't actually play D&D himself. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, this is one of the failings I see in modern, I don't know what you call them, desktop games, the RPGs, like Neverwinter and all these ones that you guys are talking about. They are very difficult, in my opinion, to be to have the kind of free form that you would get from a tabletop. And I kind of wish there was some way they could meet in the middle, where there is an adventure that is out there that you could go on with your adventure party, in the standard, first person RPG type of format. But then what would be good is if there was some sort of a sandboxy way that you could interpret your own D&D adventures into the game itself. You could set up like a PvP or PvE type, private scenario using the terrain, using the everything. Star Trek Online used to have a holodeck server where you could literally create your own scenarios. The problem with it was, unfortunately, that people kind of abused it, so that when there were daily endeavors where you had to defeat 25 Klingon ships, they would create these adventures you could, or these scenarios you could queue up, just like the Kobayashi Maru, where you just a bunch of very low level Klingon ships show up, they fulfill the endeavor, and it's like, well, that was kind of no work,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, see, Sashi's talking about exactly that. I was even working on, what really upset me was when they took that down. I had been working on, get this, I was trying to recreate the Klingon Academy video game, PC game, from years earlier in Star Trek Online. And I think that would have been really, really cool. And unfortunately, they closed down that server, so I couldn't keep doing that.
Yeah. I don't have any.
Mr. Londell says, I left tabletop games behind when I discovered real-time strategy games on PC.
Oh.
Right now, I'm wishing they'd remake the Command and Conquer, Tiberium Wars games. Yeah, I remember seeing those. I never actually played them.
I got Star Wars X-Wing and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
They were kind of very similar to the Command and Conquer, as I recall.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are ones I never played. I think you played those ones, but I didn't play those.
Extensively. Yeah. I just feel like, I think a lot of these gaming companies are really missing some huge synergies. I think one that's coming close to it is Fallout. The Fallout game series has been doing really well, and there's a Fallout RPG that apparently, is direct canon with the online game, or the the PC game. So I feel like, there's something really missing there. And I know that a lot of people have taken different games and tried to make them mesh together. For example, back in the day, if you played the old FASA Star Trek role-playing game, there was also a FASA miniature combat game, and people used to eschew the role-playing game mechanics for the miniature. If we're going to do a role-playing game and there was going to be ship combat, we would use the miniature ship combat. And in later days, the Star Wars miniature game and the Star Trek miniature games have come out. I miss the epic cinematic games like Wing Commander. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like there's a game that I used to play a long time ago, found it again recently, been playing it, and now the people that were keeping it up have like disappeared. It's Legend of the Green Dragon. I played it years ago and loved it, then kind of fell out of it because life. And then I found it again, I want to say about a year or so ago. Been playing it, and then it's like the devs kind of disappeared, the mods disappeared. Now you're lucky if you can even get on, and if you can, you're lucky then if you can play for, a minute before it kicks you out again, because there's no one maintaining the thing.
I find interesting, Matt Cheatwood says, the persistent multiplayer worlds and servers of Neverwinter Nights have an amazing system. There are DMs that can create unique encounters for groups of players. That's really kind of cool. Yeah. Did you ever see Amber the Diceless RPG? I have not.
I've never heard of that
I
one.
have
Wow.
heard of a variety of different diceless role-playing games. I find them interesting.
Well, how do you play a diceless game? What's like? How do you determine the moves then?
Oftentimes they're more cinematic. They tend to be I haven't played a lot of them, but you'll have somebody describe. Sometimes they're not only diceless, sometimes they're even game masterless.
Oh,
And-
kind of like when we did Star Trek Through the Mail?
Yes, kind of. That was a very primitive version of it. A lot of times these diceless games will have rules that require a certain amount of agreement between players. So it uses a lot of yes and or yes ors. So you describe what you want to do, and instead of the dice determining whether or not you could do it, other players or a referee might say, okay, but da 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 da, or another player might say, yes, and I blah 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 blah. Everything is the DM's judgment. You have to trust the players and the DM more than most role-playing games. Yes, and I honestly believe that those are the kinds of adventures that are best served by there's no nice way to say this. A mature group of players and dungeon masters. This whole thing I was talking about, where this 41-point manifesto, as you kind of dig into it, you start to realize these are probably like kids that just graduated high school, just gone into college, and they are just way too immature. So, like 3 times there were different points where the dungeon master's getting upset about, people being late, people not showing up, and I'm going to do this if you don't show up, and I'm going to do that, and if you criticize me, I'm going to get up and leave. And it's like, these are not gaming problems. These are interpersonal problems. You guys need to learn to deal with each other as human beings first. Then the gaming can happen, right? There was another one about, he would describe several different scenarios, and Dungeon Craft would say, sounds like you got a problem with cheating. That should not even be something you have to address in your little manifesto here. Rolling dice, and then when you get the roll you want, that's my roll, I want to do this.
Yeah, we had a player that would
you
do that.
declare what you're going to do, then you roll your dice. That's how it goes. And yeah, if you have a group of players that are cheating, why are you even playing? Just go write a story. It's a game. That's the fun of it. The possibility of failing is what's fun. You know, as you roll those dice, that's when you get your dopamine hit. Not when you succeed, not when you fail. It's the excitement leading up to finding out if you were successful or not. You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. So there you go. I don't know how we got off on a tangent about role-playing games and games in general, but
Just
I guess
throwing
we're just
something out
going
there.
with the flow tonight, right?
Going with the flow, right. Okay, so, yeah, because I started off talking about exams. So, has anyone ever had to take an exam that was just, like it was hours long and just a total pain in the tuchus to do? I've done one before, and I'm doing another one today. So, the last one I did, it was called the FCRA exam, Fair Credit Reporting Act. There's no time limit on it, and there's only 50 questions, but that darn thing took me, it was like 4.5, 5 hours to do, because you second guess yourself when you're doing this. Well, first you have to sit through this guy with a really monotone voice going through all these videos explaining what the FCRA is on all the different parts of it and all this, and then you have to take the exam. So you're reading the question, and you'll have two answers that are very similar. So then you're like, wait a minute, is it answer A or answer B? And you'll go back and look at your notes. And then you go look at the answers again. Then you look back at your note. And you keep going back and forth and second guessing yourself, so it takes longer. And then I found out after I took the thing and passed it, but, you know, after I took it, I could have paused the exam, gone back and watched the videos again to get clarification, and then continued on with the exam. I didn't know I could do that at the time. So it was very stressful, and I mean, I did pass it, but my stress level was through the roof after that one. The one I'm taking tomorrow, it's 120 questions. I have 4 hours to take it, and it's on, I don't know how many of you would know what CMMI is. I can tell you what that stands for. Give me 1 second. CMMI. It is the Capability and Maturity Model Integration Practitioner's Exam. So that's what I am taking tomorrow. And it's basically, there's like different models that are supposed to be helpful for your companies, like delving into, you know, what is planning and all the different intricacies of planning, and like management and different things. And then you have categories and subcategories and practices. And it's like, oh, what's a practice? What's a model? What's a this? And it's like, oh my goodness. And there's like, I think it was something like 180 pages of this model viewer to look at. So yeah, it's very involved. Now what's really nice is that this exam I'm taking is open book. So I can look through the model viewer, I can look at my notes, I can look back at the slide deck that we used in class. I mean, anything that I have at my disposal, I can use. So I am really hoping that I'm prepared for this thing tomorrow. And because I mean, I even downloaded like flashcards that's supposed to help you study. So yeah, it's like I'm really hoping I'm going to pass this thing. Like I said, I don't care to get 100%. I really don't care about that. I just want to pass. 80% is passing, and I figured out that that's 96 questions. So if I get 96 out of 120 right, I'm happy.
There you go.
So Matthew, what's going on is that I did have a guest tonight, but she unfortunately has scheduling conflict and couldn't make it. But she will be on next week, and that's Alon Carter. She's a former Playboy Playmate. She is the stepdaughter of one of the Temptations. She's done modeling all over the world. Yeah, she's got a lot going on. So she's going to be my guest next week.
Yep. And we're probably at the point where we want to start talking about what else we got coming up.
Nate, you're nice. He says, Netters, you got this, girl.
Right? That's what I've been saying too. But
yes, but you're supposed to say that stuff. You're my husband.
Yeah, it helps. It helps to hear that. I know.
Yeah. So yeah, so we were like everywhere tonight. So we're talking about exams. We're talking about games. We're talking about different types of games, D&D, tabletop, online, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of all over because this was a go with the flow stream.
Yeah.
Sashi says, living in Asia is like going through a decades-long exam. Everyone is judging you, and you're probably going to fail anyway. There's no retakes. Oh, that's gutting.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, I can't retake this exam. The first one I did, the FCRA, you're given 2 chances to take it. For this one, there's no retake unless I want to pay $500 for it. But my boss has been saying, it doesn't matter if you pass or fail. We just want everyone to go through the experience, so you know what the end user goes through, because we basically sell these exams and study materials so people can become certified in different areas. And so this one is building organizational capabilities as part of the CMMI program. And they said, like I said, they're like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter if you pass or fail, just we want you to have the experience. And you want to pass. Even if you just eke through, you want to pass, because it's like that feeling of accomplishment. So I really hope that I do pass on this. Everyone's telling me I got this, so I'm really hoping I do. So thank you so much for the well wishes and prayers and everything you guys have been sending my way. I'm going to take it sometime tomorrow morning. So I start work at 7:30, so I'll probably start the exam somewhere around 8:30, because I need to get some stuff that I didn't get to today out of the way before I could take the exam. So I figure around 8:30 I'll start the exam. 4 hours later I'll be done, and I'll let you know on the next stream if I passed or not. I told Troy, because I wanted some Muggs ribs. I love these ribs. These are phenomenal ribs. They just melt in your mouth. I wanted to get them over the last weekend, but then I'm like, you know what? Hold off till Friday, because then I'll either need them to celebrate or I'll need them because I'll be sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Geek Flag said, Netter, just remember what Bruce Lee said, be like water. Aw. And then Kirsch Selby said, prayers and positive vibes going up for you, Netter's Network. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I mean, I'm a firm believer in the power of prayer and just sending good thoughts and good vibes and everything to people. So thank you so much for that. It's like, you guys are my cheerleaders. I love you guys, But Troy did say that we are coming up on the top of the hour. I don't want to keep people. This was just kind of, like I said, go with the flow stream. Next week we'll have an actual person here that we'll be talking to and finding out about them.
Yeah.
So let's see, what do we have coming up? Today is Thursday, so Friday on Last Call, you will be talking about Men's Mental Health Month.
Yeah, and I am by no means a subject matter expert. I don't even personify men's mental health, but we will be talking about that tomorrow. It is an important topic. This is Men's Mental Health Month, and So that will be tomorrow night on Last Call, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, over on my channel.
And so she's saying, I'll do fine. And Lady Miss said, I'll do amazing. Oh, and she gave me a whole bunch of hearts. Thank you.
See.
Saturday, over on my channel for Retro Cinema, we'll be watching the original Doctor Strange from 1978?
78, 79,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% positive, but yeah, that's the made-for-TV film. I'm guessing a lot of y'all haven't seen it, probably don't have it in your collection, so you will definitely have to follow along with the Cosme link that will be in the chat.
Let's see. And of course, Deleted Scenes is on like all the time, so just go to his channel and you'll see what he's got upcoming, because it's everything all the time.
Well, actually, right after this, make sure you get over to his channel, because he will be doing his weekend update to let you know what he's got going on.
Oh gosh. Geek Flag said, Netter Life is a one-take movie, and we don't know what it means, but we're saving all our tears for the crime scene.
There you go.
Let's see. Sunday, we've got Geeky Geezers at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Deleted Scenes is before that. Probably a couple of times before that. Let's see, was it Western Cinema, or was that on Saturday?
Western Cinema is Sunday at 3 Central, 4 Eastern.
Okay. On Monday, what are we doing at, was it Last Call Monday Night Movies? Monday Night Last Call Movies?
You know what? I don't think I've planned out what my movies are going to be on. I will have to think about that. But yes, it will probably be a double feature for Monday Night at the Movies. And, shoot me a DM if you have any suggestions.
I have a suggestion, but I don't want to say it on air.
Okay. We can talk about it behind the scenes.
Yes. Let's see. So that's Monday. Tuesday, over on Deleted Scenes channel. So I'm telling you, Deleted Scenes is everywhere. We'll be back as Sparkwood and 21. And what will we be watching then, sweetie?
Well, we won't be so much watching, although I will go on camera to show off some of my Twin Peaks memorabilia, and I will probably be showing, and I can do this on the stream. I don't actually have to do a Cosme link for it. Some of the pictures of our respective years going to the Twin Peaks celebration, and
the yearbook.
And I will be showing off the yearbook, yes. And I will, I'll be talking about what the original plan had been for season 3 of Twin Peaks, had they gotten renewed for the following season. They did not. So we will then be looking ahead to the actual season 3 that we got 25 years later.
And then next Thursday, right back here on Netters Network Thursday Things, we will have Elon Carter.
Yes.
So if you come back for that, you'll be able to listen in on the interview that we'll be having with the former Playboy Playmate, daughter of one of the Temptations, former Melissa Pay co-host. Like I said, busy girl, and want to find out more about her and what she's been up to and what she's got coming up.
And that about does it.
Okay. Well, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. As I say, it was just kind of a hangout stream, just talking off the top of our heads. And I do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And I hope you come back next week, because then we really will have a special guest on. Excuse me. Naturally, I'm choking on air. I'm talented. Geekflex says you should call your Monday night show Pacelli's Monday Night at the Movies.
Well, I've been calling it Last Calls Monday Night at the Movies, but yeah, there you go.
But we don't do Last Call on Mondays. We do Last Call on Fridays.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so
that's true.
There's got to be a last call.
There you go. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Night of the Movies.
That seems like a bit of a mouthful.
And of course, you guys know what I always say. We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. So, hi, Sashi. Hi, Matthew. Yeah, it feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, just enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here, and that's so encouraging. Even though we didn't really have much to talk about tonight, you're still here and still encouraging us and each other, and that's so great to see. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our family. And we will definitely see you next time, which will be tomorrow night over on Troy's Last Call. But until then, good night and God bless. Love you guys.